So, exercise is one of those things like everybody kind of knows it's important and
Mm,
is thinking they should do it. And
mhm,
then so many of us aren't doing it. So,
mhm.
could you just kind of start by saying, in a general sense, why exercise is important?
Absolutely. And to your point, I noticed this between as a very, what I would call young adult, after my undergrad, I went back to graduate school not to learn more about physiology and kinesiology, but I went back choosing sport and exercise psychology because we were blowing it already then back in the mid 80s. We were not tapping into more people. We were moving people around. The same people and same percentage of people were exercising. And we're still, unfortunately, we're still there today. Most of us not exercising. For women in midlife, and I'll say this, 80% of women are not exercising or doing strength training the 2 times a week minimum that would
Right. Well,
help
I
them.
mean, sorry, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
You're saying things haven't changed really in like 60 years, 50,
Well, thank you. That would make me 80, but 40 for
40.
sure.
Okay, so I can't count. 40. So despite all these advances in science, despite the internet and everything,
Hmm.
all the information's out there.
Yep.
Despite all this, and it's so much easier, isn't it, to
Yeah.
exercise
Hmm.
because, we've got the great running shoes and treadmills
Hmm.
and we can do it
Hmm.
at home and there's gyms everywhere.
Hmm.
Despite all that, things have really not changed as a
It's
society.
absolutely true. There are more health coaches and more personal trainers than there ever have been historically. There are about two and a half times. So at one point, I was saying there are about 250,000 trainers in the world, and now we know there are about 750,000. But many of them are just working part time. They're not actually very busy at all. We know they're certified, they're ready and waiting, but we're still not motivating the masses to do even the basics. And so it's like food where we would say, if you're doing this, you're going to prevent disease. But if you're doing this plus, you're going to thrive. You're going to have more energy and do better. Exercise is also like that. We're not even doing the minimum.
Yeah.
80% of us. Number one, there's a big emotional detox component that happens with movement and exercise. And then, of course, the physiological one, which I think everybody thinks about. That movement also increases your circulation, blood flow moving through your body, delivering oxygen to your extremities that don't otherwise get it. But when you actually, the one of the biggest keys to supporting detox most is getting breathless to the point you sweat. And that might include exercise in a hot or humid environment, because obviously that's going to get you sweaty faster than if you're in North Dakota, it's 20 below and you're in your basement. It's going to take a little longer. But sweating is one of the ways, obviously, that bodily liquid leaves us and evaporates and helps us transport some of those toxins out of our body. It also, if you move externally, you move that physically, we're moving things through us. Our digestive system is working better. And so you're removing toxins. You're likely to be more regular. You're exporting
Better
things
bowel
in
movements.
that way. Absolutely. You're breathing, even exhaling is actually, you're doing that at a faster rate, also expiring more toxins easily. I think the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway we'll give first, is spoiler alert, is muscle. And it's been said by many, many people, muscle is the organ of longevity. The first place we go is mentally to cardio exercise must be the key. And yet we forget the measure of cardiovascular exercise. And I'm going to throw out some terms here that'll be a little scientific, but VO2 max.
Hmm.
And I think we're all hearing a little more about how the importance of that. That's how we measure your heart health. By how fit are you? By VO2 max is an expression of what's the volume of oxygen that you or I can consume in a minute. And as we age, like so many other things, that number generally goes down if we're not fighting for it in every possible way. But this is a twofold measure. It is how much oxygen are you delivering to your extremities? How much is getting all the way to your fingertips and through your arms and your legs? And then how much is extracted? But what's important is nobody ever says delivered to where, and the place that oxygen is delivered to is muscle. So
Hmm.
if we lose muscle, we lose VO2 by default. We
Yes.
need to hold on to that. Muscle is equally as important as doing that cardiovascular exercise that makes you breathe a little harder than when you're sitting down, or that gets breathless when you're ready for workouts that incorporate that.
Absolutely. So it is just really the most natural thing in the world
Mm,
is to move, and we're
mhm,
calling it exercise because, well, because we understand so much more about
mm,
it, and you've shared so much science here. You've done a great job, really, on explaining this, and I mean, personally, for making me want to do different things, go back and try different things, and I think that's what's so great about it is there's so many ways to exercise,
mm,
and every and whatever wherever you are, then it's just a question of, that first step and starting and doing it.
mhm,
And of course, if you can have a personal trainer, and of course, if you can invest in some, you've got the money to invest in some tech to help you, one of those devices, or a
mhm,
rings, for instance, or whatever
mhm,
kind of watches that's monitoring you. Although don't have them connected to the Bluetooth all the time. They're very good, but that's have to be careful with that. But yeah, there's so many ways to do it now, and there's so much science.
mhm.
And yeah, and so thank you, Deborah, for sharing. I want to just remind people of your website, flipping50.com. Um, you're all over the internet, clearly. You're doing
Mm.
very active here, lots of sharing lots of information on this subject. Very passionate about it too, and you look great as well.
Oh, good.
So thank you for sharing today, and yeah, thanks so much.
Well, thank you. It was delightful. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this interview and all my interviews are available in the EMF Expert Solutions Club with transcripts. My name is Lloyd Burrell. Until next time, thanks so much. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.